morning.
Hey, how's everyone doing? I hope you are doing well today, man. Shout out to all the subscribers. Big up to anybody new locked in. So, I think these fights are going to get made. When I say these, you know, the heavyweight division, Wilder, Joshua, I think that's going to get made. I think it's inevitable. I know they've been talking about it. I know Eddie Hearn has changed his tune slightly. And shout out to the guy on Fight Hub who was calling him out. He said, you said it was locked in. And he's like, you said locked in. He said, well, I didn't, locked in. It's not signed, but it sounds like they're working towards something. Wilder came out and said, he wanted a 2-fight deal. When I first heard that, I thought to myself, wow, they're cashing AJ out. You know what I mean? I was like, but apparently it's coming from Wilder, and one fight in Saudi Arabia, the other one in Africa, which is interesting. That's bringing back what boxing was, in all these different countries, especially Africa. I can't remember the last fight, big heavyweight fight that was there. That's awesome. So, but would Eddie Hearn consider this next? After watching the Hellenius fight, some people think AJ's ready for Wilder and would beat him, and he could not easily beat him. He could beat him, but when you're talking about how tentative and nervous AJ was, and he did okay, and he got the knockout, and he was a late replacement Hellenius and stuff like that, and he boxed to a game plan. He didn't get sucked into the crowd, and he's obviously being a thoughtful fighter now, and but he did get hit a few more times in that jab, and I said in that post-fight, I was like, what follows through with Wilder's jabs is the right hand, but when against Fury, look, he's obviously, how big Wilder will be interesting, because he was the biggest he's ever been in the Fury 3 fight, something like 238. He was massive in that, and he was punching with some serious intentions. But then he went down to 214 against Hellenius. He was really way more fleet-footed, fighting off the back foot, got a great KO. Is that his future? Is he going to be around that weight? Or is he going to be somewhere in between 214 and 238? I don't know, but I think the 238 was too big. He just looked way too bulky. But, the gamble nearly paid off. And he nearly got Fury out of it. They really did. So, how's he going to approach the fight? Because how's his mental state, After getting wiped out by Fury in that third fight, mentally, we've only seen him for 2.5 minutes or whatever, and look, he got a great KO. It was a great shot, and put Hellenius out. Would have done his confidence a world of good. So would have AJ's knockout. Do you know what I mean? But will Eddie Hearn consider doing this, and then thinking, okay, we'll just get our money's worth? Because I've said before too, if AJ just keeps fighting, and I know he's lost a bit of that pizzazz, and he's lost that the energy where fans really know they're going for him being aggressive and entertaining, which he's not doing. They still got a knockout, but are they going to want to know what they're getting themselves into? Is he going to keep being able to sell tickets? It wasn't full. There were boos. If you keep putting him in with knockover jobs, how long does that brand last for before you can put him in with Wilder? How long's that fight gonna stay there for? In an ideal world, you'd want him to have at least one more, I think, but it's not ideal, and that shelf life for that fight is it's got a little bit of time, but not that much time, and people can always lose as well. I know Hearn was mentioning that Wilder might have a fight, or Malik Scott said they might have a fight in October. I hope not. I'm a selfish boxing fan. I want to see these guys get it on. Obviously AJ could use a bit more development, but he's just like, I was always like in the camp, I was like, he's going to be alright. He's going to be alright. Never said he's going to be a world champion. I was like stopping short a little bit of that, but I loved his dedication and desire to get right back at it and put himself in Texas and all that. I've spoken about that. And the Jermaine Franklin fight, I thought he did alright. And then I was expecting a bit more in the Hellenius fight, just in terms of his body language. And look, his footwork was a little bit better. And he boxed all right, like I said, and he got the KO. But it's just, I thought his confidence was going to be a bit better. And it's just like, it didn't give me confidence after seeing that. Especially when you're going against the most powerful puncher of our generation and one of the most powerful punchers in boxing history, Deontay Wilder, who knows how to use it too. You know, I think Paulie Malignaggi has said before, he's like, you know, he's a one-trick pony, but it's one hell of a trick. And that's true, because it's like he gets great coordination, timing, distance, accuracy to get that right hand off. You know, let's not make no mistake about that. It is an amazing trick, and how he sets it up and how he times it too and how he's able to land it, because that's the thing. Wilder lands his shots. He does. He even landed in Fury too. That's the only fight you can say, well, he didn't really hurt Fury, but he grazed him with a couple of really close, powerful shots in the first and second round. And if you watch the Fury fights too, even the third one, where I know Fury got dropped a couple of times, but there was a couple of times in the first and second round, right? Fury's very clever. He did a couple of little sneaky things where he just deflects the right hand, whether it be parrying it, moving out the way, stepping back. It's his IQ and his hand-eye coordination that is able to do that. Whether it's like the long guard, manipulating the flight of the punch, just touching it ever so slightly so it gets off target. There were a couple of shots I'm like, if that was AJ, that'd have landed clean and that would have taken him out, because AJ doesn't have the same skill set that Fury does, obviously, but that's why I'm like, he's gonna land a shot on AJ. When he does, what's gonna happen then? What's gonna happen if Wilder wipes out AJ and then he has to go back in to fight Wilder again? Can you imagine how destroyed AJ's confidence will be then? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's a total cash out if they fight Wilder next, but especially if it came from Wilder. But I just think you can't drag this fight out too long. I think another fight at least for AJ would be great. And perhaps if they both had a fight in October and you could build it up. Both had a fight in October, both favoured to win that, and then really built it up after that. They could go to each other's fights, get in the ring, all that stuff. Not that the fight really needs hyping up, but if they're going to do that, get the most out of it, you know, really build it up and have them face off in the ring after a win, and, you know, have them push and shove each other. You know, how everybody does this, finding every single way in these days is just some sort of, you know, handbag drama. But I don't know. I'm a very optimistic boxing fan. We've had an absolutely fantastic year, and I'm very hopeful for this fight sooner rather than later. Like, you know, even if it is in AJ's best interest, he's got an opportunity to beat Wilder. He really does. And, you know, I'm not saying I would favour him. I certainly wouldn't, because, like I mentioned, Wilder lands and AJ's confidence is, it might be not an all-time low, but it's not exactly going to where you'd expect it to. At least not for me. But let me know your thoughts on this fight. And yeah, that's it from me. It's another gloomy day here in New York City. It's overcast, rainy, scattered thunderstorms. Again, it doesn't feel like summer, but it's all right. Gonna make the most of it. Gonna go for a run. I hope you guys have a lovely weekend. And I hope you have a bit of sunshine, and I hope you guys get to enjoy the Usyk fight. I'll leave the link up here for my breakdown on that, and I've got more videos coming over the weekend as well. But yeah, that's it. Peace and love. See you later.